lovely people, it's Mirjam. Welcome back to my channel. In this series I'm talking about my experience about the motorbike accident which I've been involved, and then I injured my spine, I open fractured my legs, and I had severe brain injuries. So if you're related and interested, please keep watching. I'm on social media on LinkedIn, Facebook and Insta, and I created this group on Facebook which called External Fixator and PRECICE Nail Patients. You can actually see the links here and at the end of the video. So you can check out this group. There are some videos, other videos as well, and some other things as well you can read about. So if you like this video, please keep watching and give a thumbs up and subscribe it, please. So I'm going to talk about today, it's a sensitive topic, but I'm going to talk about it. It's sensitive for me as well, and I think for a lot of people as well. So I'm going to talk about the PTSD, which is the post-traumatic stress disorder. So actually I've got diagnosed with this a bit late, because they asked me in the hospital already if I need a psychologist, but then I denied completely that I've got any kind of problem mentally. I thought I'm strong enough and just weak people need support. But then, well, when I got to the professional, then I realized I really had to have the support earlier, much earlier. So my doctor actually suggested me to visit a psychologist. So I've got a referral from the GP, and also my solicitor told me it would be useful. So I went to my first session, and we had a lot of tests to do as well. I had to do a questionnaire as well, which I was doing after every week, and she shared with me a lot of techniques during this time, which actually I started to have the sessions. I received support with the sessions in, I think it was in September in 2016, and then we were doing it until the 2017 May, when I had my neck surgery. So we had to stop it because I couldn't really walk for 2 months, and then I went back for another, I would say, half year or 3 months, something like this. I'm going to talk about this in a different video as well, when it was exactly, because it's the next year. So with these things, what she shared with me, all these techniques, which I remember, and I remember them because they were useful for me. There were other techniques as well, and I'm sure it could be useful for someone, but I will share with you which I used to use to to feel better and stuff. So the little things what she was telling me how to do and stuff. So she said first of all, I need to focus on my activities. So what I'm doing, she said, I should choose things which I like to do, or which I used to like to do. For example, I really like to do sewing things, or doing anything with my hands. So she said, because you cannot walk properly or you get tired too soon, then you can actually do this kind of stuff. So it would be nice. It's still part of the improving the motor skills as well. So this kind of stuff. And then she said, like, to try to schedule activities and be always kind of busy, that was actually very challenging for me because I'm always a perfectionist to do things and in my best way I can, and it takes a lot of energy as well. And until the recovery of my last surgery actually I was still trying, yeah, I tried to find a way how to get this balance. So when I need to have some rest, when I can push more, when I can do more activities, when I need to do less activities, and I'm still when my life is changing and I need to do an extra activity or I need to do less, then I'm still try to find a balance, because it's not just, it involves the physically things as well. And for example, if I'm tired, most of the time I've got pain in my legs, which affect my mental beings as well, and it makes me tired. So when, well, I need to sleep or I need to have rest, and mostly I'm sleeping because it's more effective. So yeah, this kind of thing. So well, actually I tried that time as well. So I try to keep busy all the time, so preparing but just little things. So that's what it was very useful for me. So for example, do the washing, just, or folding the things after, cleaning my room. But for example, I couldn't clean my room, my entire room in one day. So I was just doing one piece of furniture at one day, and the other furniture the other day. So that's how I had to break down all those activities. Okay, and then there was another technique which I met this technique before, but I didn't know it's actually a professional approach as well, and it called the grounding. And it's a thing that you need to realize that you are in the present. So what she told me, I need to sit down wherever I am. If I feel very stressed or very tired, and so when I just can't do it anymore, any kind of things, and then I start worrying things, she said I need to sit down and make sure my feet are on the floor, and then just kind of like the tree, I need to get the energy from the roots. She didn't tell me in these words, but that was actually the meaning. And then she said I need to look around what I've got. If I'm on the tube, then how people look like, how is the colors, everything, the noises, the smell and things. So it's actually you realizing you are in the present, so you can separate your problems or your anxiety and your worrying things, and then you just focus on one thing, and then you kind of it calms you down. And also she told me when I analyze everything around me, then I need to say I'm here right now, and then I'm safe. So that was a really good technique as well. And I'm still using it if I'm for example, if I'm very stressed out on a day, it's a really good thing. And I think it's very similar as like prayers as well. So I think it's really good. It's a really good technique. And there was one which I left it for last, but it was the most emotional one. And you can try by yourself as well, but with a professional, with someone who helps you, it's much better, because you don't feel alone, but also it's pushing you to do the thing, and it's not very comfortable at all. So that's what I felt. So the first session when we were doing this technique, it called the relieving, and she told me to, previously she told me I need to list the most traumatic events I went through during this time, and she said, like, choose 5 and then bring it to me next time. So I went there, and then she said from the 5 choices I need to choose one which was the most emotional. So I chose that one, which was with the ketamine things, with the surgery, which I talked about in the previous video. I will actually put it here if you're interested. So yeah, and there was a surgery when I woke up, and then I had too much pain, so they actually gave me ketamine. And that was a really, it was a huge traumatic event for me, and I still remember, because we did this technique, I remember it completely different. So in the first session, she asked me to tell me how these things happen. So, and first I was just talking, just listing things that happened, this happened, that was it, and that's it, with no emotions and nothing. I just wanted to say, yeah, that's what happened. This is actually like, it's mostly like traumatic people, they don't want to talk about this, so it's absolutely normal. And in the second time when I went back for this relieving technique to do, I was actually, I didn't actually expect that she will ask me again the same thing, and then I was like a bit confused, but then I was, well, I told her as well, again actually, but then that time I was more emotional, but I was, and with more details, because she was asking me as well, like, how was all the things, like how was it cold, how was it, what did you feel, how was the pain, and all these things, so kind of pushing me to the limit. But there was still nothing. And the third session I went there, she did the same thing. I had to repeat again, and then I was already, well, sick and tired of this, talking about this, yeah. So, but, well, she pushed me hard, and it was good, because I started to talk about it, and somewhere in halfway I actually broke. And well, she told me, well, it was a good thing as well. The third time she told me I need to close my eyes. So, well, it really got me into these things. And so, yeah, when I broke halfway through this, I started to cry like a baby. And then I couldn't stop it. I was crying for 5 minutes. Yeah, I remember that, and it was really hard. But then it was, well, it was kind of like, it was a good feeling after, not right after, but after a couple of days I felt much better. And this is the reason actually I could talk about in the previous video about this surgery, because with this technique actually we achieved that this event that happened to me, it was in the past, and it will not happen again in my life. So I'm not gonna repeat all these traumatic things with another experience which is very similar. So it won't happen, and that was very useful. And, well, thanks very much for the for the psychologist. She was really good for that. Yes. Also, I was gonna mention this, that for this reliving technique, I had to bring. I had to go with a comfortable clothes. I had to, like, sit down comfortably as well. And then she actually suggested me to bring something with me which makes me safe and secure. So it could be like any, like, toy you got from your parents, or something you got from a person you care, I mean care about their opinion, or from your best friend something, and then I could hold it, I could have it with me. So it was actually very useful. So that was my experience with this post-traumatic events. And well, I hope if you have something like this, I would suggest you to visit a professional, because it could really help you to feel much better, a coach or a professional, anything like this. Because, well, after learning these techniques and stuff, your life is gonna be much easier to go through difficulties in life, and you will see it not difficulties, you will see it a challenge. So yeah, that was my topic today. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, see you in the next video next week. Bye now. Take care of yourself.